What's up, HyperFast Nation? On this episode of the show, we are bringing a speaker from the 2023 HyperFast Agent Summit. Stand by for an introduction from the one and only Dustin Brown.
He is a top-producing mortgage lender, a social coach, and the host of the Lab Code Agents podcast. Anybody heard of Lab Code Agents in here? Of course. He's going to teach you how to use video to establish valuable relationships and generate leads like a pro. This next sentence, I never thought about this, because when your people skills scale on social, I always thought about people skills in person, but when your people skills are good on social media, your business can scale. That's my nugget right there. Please help me welcome to the stage, Jeff Pfitzer!
All right, it's good to be back. How many of you have watched me speak on this stage before? Thank you. All right, we're going to start with a little exercise, and no, I'm not going to get you to stand up and dance around, but I do want you to stand up because I need to learn about the room. I'm not going to embarrass you, kind of. Everybody up? All right, so how many of you would say that you average shooting at least one video per week? If you do that, stay standing. If you don't, sit down. At least one video per week. How about 2 videos per week on average? So we have some oneers. How about 3? How many of you shoot at least one a day? If you do one a day, stay standing. 10 a week. Listen, look at you two. You guys got to get up here and teach this one. Where you at? How many a week would you say you average a video? And by the way, I should have prefaced this by saying this doesn't include BombBomb. Just social video. Video out to your sphere. Don't be embarrassed. Please tell me. Don't worry about it. So how many videos a week? Awesome.
I do about 4 a day.
Awesome.
And I get harassed right before it. So I'm here for it.
Awesome. Well, listen, first of all, can we all give them a round of applause, because that's the name of the game here. Thank you. And the whole purpose of me doing that is because by the end of this, what I'm going to show you is that there's 5 video strategies right now that you should be using in your business that will help you to create roughly 7 to 11 videos per week. And you all have the ability to do that. So I want you to do that. I want you to pay attention. But let me also say this. I am not here to advocate for more realtors going on social media and talking about market updates. Please. We are the worst spammers on the planet. For those of you who know me, you know that I speak on social. Today it's going to be very video specific. But one of the things that I am advocating for, which is not to make our industry any more used car sales than it already is. Because it is. You go talk to any 25-year-old who has no ties to real estate and ask them, what do you think? Actually, let me backtrack. If I ask you, what do you think of used car salesmen? What do you think? Ooh, slimy. You ask a 25-year-old, what do you think of real estate agents? Ooh, slimy. That's what we've created, and that's what we need to stop. Now, I am going to give you some techniques and some ideas that are real estate related and real estate centric, but I promise you it's not talking head where you're pushing play on the camera and talking about a market update. And I don't want you going to your listing and saying, hi, it's Jeff here. I'm standing in front of 123 Main Street. Let me walk you through my house. And now it takes you 4 or 5 minutes to get through. You lost them at the, hi, it's Jeff. So that's a lot of what we're going to talk about today. So first things first, a little bit about, if you don't know who I am, let's connect. So it's very easy to find me. I spend many a day, many an hour on social. I'm easy to find. If you're not connected with me on your platform of choice, please do. And there's two reasons why I say that. Number one, I will always connect with you on social. So if you shoot me a DM on social, I will respond. If you tag me in a post, I will show your post love. Always just connect with me on social. If you just want me to critique a post, send it to me. I'm happy to do so. All right, so make sure we stay connected here. Also, I am a practitioner of everything that I preach. And a lot of what now my brand has become, which I don't know why Dustin, he needs to update that intro. I barely know how to spell mortgage anymore. So I actually don't, I feel slimy when he says that, and then I come on stage because I'm far removed from it. But here's the deal. I want you to get more involved and pay more attention to the people that are going to inspire you. And so now I've literally built this brand and businesses, side businesses, as a way to inspire you, so you can go take that content that I'm creating and literally copy it, emulate it, make it your own. So there's this great debate. Toilet paper really has nothing to do with it. It was just a good little image that I found. I had a email conversation with the president of our company a couple of weeks ago. And it actually got slightly weird for a second because he is a typical old school guy. Very super successful, mortgage guy, just like numbers through the roof. Just he's an anomaly. And we were, the whole premise of the conversation was simply about, it was kind of about social. He started it. I actually commented, saying I loved this post, but he took it the wrong way, which he then fired back at me, and then it turned into a little spat, a little war. And this was, by the way, the entire company copied on this email chain. There was 1,000 people, over 1,000 people on it. But it turned into this debate that I now had with him. His name is Doug Shukar. And I said, you know, Doug, like, you're amazing at what you do. You've done it well. Traditional, staying in touch with his clients, doing a great job, calling on them every single year, doing the traditional things, right? The traditional, just like what real estate does, which is whatever you do, which is prospecting, whether it's door knocking, whether it's calling on expireds, whether it's doing all these things. And I said, Doug, like, I won't ever take that away from you. I can't take that away from you, but you are a unicorn. There's not many people that do what you do. And I said, here's the difference in today's world and where this world is evolving, is that I will take my strategy, which is neurotic consistency, staying in front of my audience on social, over your old school strategy all day long. And here's why. Because I said, you put yourself in his shoes, real estate agent, mortgage loan officer, doesn't matter. You do a fantastic job for your client. Your client loves you. It was a very seamless transaction, right? And then what happens? You close, you dump them into your CRM. No offense to the CRM who's here, but that's also garbage, okay? It's spam. It's necessary, don't get me wrong, but you're putting your client into a platform that they didn't ask to be put into, and now you're going to send them emails, text messages saying, here's 10 tips to get your house ready to sell in the spring. Here's a market update. Here's what Fannie Mae just announced. Hey, rates are low. They don't give a shit. They just bought the damn house, right? So that's what he does. And maybe he'll do an occasional phone call on the holidays or on their home anniversary and whatever. I said, you do that, and I'll go do me. And I'm going to go online, and I'm just going to be myself, and I'm going to be very authentic, and I'm going to share who I am as a human being. I'm going to share my life. I'm going to share my wife, my kids, my travels, my golf, that I'm a bird nerd, all this stupid shit that creates relatability. And I said, I'm going to build more parasocial relationships, and I'm going to end up penetrating your customer. Your customer is now going to spend the next 5 years, let's say, between the next time they do a transaction. They're going to get to know me. They're going to get to like me. I'm going to show up in their feed all the time because they're interested in my content, not your mortgage content or real estate content. And guess what's going to happen when they need to refinance or buy again? Who are they going to probably choose? I'll take my strategy 8 or 9 times out of 10. I'll bet you money. I'll bet you money. 8 or 9 times out of 10, I'm going to beat the old school strategy all day long because I'm building a stronger relationship. Oh, and oh, by the way, millennials and Gen Z have yet to buy homes like any generation before them, right? There's a boom coming. I've been saying this for 3 or 4 years now, so I'm done saying it. But it's coming. It's going to happen, or they're just never going to buy. But the reality is this, whether you like it or not, these people, these human beings, which I'm a Gen Xer, by the way, the best and most lost generation that there is. But I feel like I'm a millennial, and they don't want you to call them on the phone. Like, you're invading their privacy, right? They don't even want you to text them. I have a 22-year-old and a 19-year-old, and they say, Dad, the only reason we get into our text messages is for you. We snap everyone. That's how we communicate. So if you don't start embracing these new strategies and start understanding that by doing more video, you're going to create more relationships with these generations, which are going to be the next wave of real estate boom, you're either in one camp and you're about ready to go extinct, or you're in the other camp and you're about ready to freaking explode. That's what's going to happen. So that's the debate. I'm going to give you some quick stats. I set my phone down here because I actually want to plug it in and show you a couple of the strategies I'm going to talk to you about if we have time. But first, I'm going to run through this just to drive home my point. Video is preferred by 80% of people over written text. You probably already knew this. Emails with videos. We were talking about BombBomb a second ago. Emails with videos, that's what BombBomb is. Have a 300% higher click-through rate than those without. And I know there's always somebody in the room that says, man, I have BombBomb. I send my videos to everybody, and because you can watch the analytics. You can see how much they watch. And oftentimes, they don't get watched. Just like on social. Oftentimes, it doesn't go viral. But I don't think this data exists if it wasn't true. And here's the point. Even if they're not watching the video, every time they open up that email, because here's what they're not doing, is reading 3 paragraphs of text. I promise you that. But even if they don't watch the video, guess what? Just a little branding, subtle branding. Don't forget who I am. And if you're using a BombBomb that has a 3-second loop, you can be holding up a whiteboard, you can be waving, whatever. It works. Consumers are 20 times more likely to share a video than other type of content. So in my social presentation, I show some analytics on this. Like, I don't care about views anymore. And I don't care about likes anymore. That's just vanity. It makes me feel good. It tells me what I should be creating more of. You know what I care about? Shares and saves. That's what matters. Because that means I'm getting free marketing, people are sharing me to their audience, and saves means they like my content so much, they set it aside to watch it again later. That's what matters. According to 83% of video marketers, utilizing video has helped lengthen the amount of time website visitors spend on their page. Duh. 90% of respondents indicate they very much or somewhat enjoy watching a video content from brands online, with less than 4% sharing that they don't like watching brand video. So anybody who likes to make the argument, I'd rather read than watch, well, then you're in the 4%. Nothing wrong with that. You decide as a marketer, as a brand, as an entrepreneur, who do I want to reach? Do you want to reach the 96% or do you want to reach the 4%? So last year I was here, well, not here, but wherever we were, somewhere around here. And this is what we talked about. We talked about BombBomb. I'm not going to talk about BombBomb this year. That's not a part of the 7 to 11. If you don't have a platform like BombBomb in your business, that should be your first thing that you write down in your notes today that you go home and get. You should have an email video service, and there's other ones besides BombBomb, we just use BombBomb, where you can communicate via email to your customers. You should be sending roughly 4 to 6 video emails per transaction. I mean, think about it. When you get an accepted contract, is it not better? I mean, yes, it'd rather be in person, and I know what some of you are thinking. I'd rather just call them on the phone. Sure, do that too. But you know what's cool? When you can actually send them a video email saying congratulations, and you can display tonality, right? So you should have this in your business, but I'm not going to talk about that this year. We talked about the equipment that you should have, which I'm going to quickly summarize that again this year, and it's updated, by the way. We talked about video editing. I mean it when I say this. In order to survive in today's world, and a year ago I didn't say this, and now I'm going to share with you my quote that I used to share. I have now changed what I'm saying about what you need to be doing in video, and in order to survive and be relevant, you need to acquire some basic editing skills. You got to have them. It's like normal nowadays. You ask any kid who's 10 to 30, and it's like second nature. It's like riding a bike. And there's a lot of us, as my kids call us, boomers in the room, And it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. I'm telling you right now, this is where the rubber will meet the road. This is where you have to decide if you want to be different and be better, acquire some editing skills. I'm going to tell you what you can use. Last year I talked about using a teleprompter. I still use a teleprompter, but I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole because I want to make this easier for you. I script out most of my content, and I will, because whenever I have eloquent ideas in my head, it's usually when I'm running, when I'm in the shower, when I'm driving. No place that I can just stop and press record. And even if I did stop and press record, it doesn't vomit the way it is in my head. When I'm in my head, it's perfect. And so what I've learned is that I actually find myself more efficient and can create better content if I get back into that inspiration. I'll make a note, I'll text myself, I'll put it in my notes, I'll go back to that inspiration, I'll write out the script, and then I upload it into a mobile teleprompter, and then I read the damn thing, and you have no idea that I'm reading it. And so people watch my videos, and they're like, damn, you're just really good, Jeff. I'm reading it. And then we talked about video structure. This thing still to this day drives me absolutely freaking bonkers. If I don't ever have to watch another video again where somebody opens up the video by saying, hey guys, or introducing yourself, you don't have to introduce yourself ever, actually. You're sending the email, it's coming from your email address. You're posting it to social, it says your name. You don't need to introduce yourself. Focus, as you're doing video, focus on leading with a hook. Leading with something that's going to grab their attention, asking a question, making a statement, saying something that might be somewhat controversial, but something that's going to get them to stick with the video. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole today either. This was last year. This year I'm simplifying this. And this was my quote that many of you have heard me say. And guess what? I would say that this quote needs to be retired. Because TikTok, as Dan mentioned, has changed the way we market. It has changed the way we create video. Now we expect, when we open up Facebook, when we open up Instagram, when we open up YouTube, when we open up LinkedIn, when we open up Twitter, we expect to see video that's going to grab our attention, video that's going to entertain us, video that's going to be quick, video that's going to have a lot of jump cuts, video that has captions, video that has cuts, videos that has GIFs. That's what we expect. And so, although I still stand up here realizing that many of you, and you proved it by sitting down, are not doing it consistently, yes, you're gonna suck. And those who can embrace the suck are the ones who are gonna get over it and get better at it, like these two ladies who are already crushing it. And I guarantee if they told their journey, they'll tell you, rewind the clock to when they started doing video, and it's cringy. And now watch it today, and it's a hell of a lot better. I'm in the same boat. But now, I no longer say your shitty video will outperform, because your shitty video actually won't perform. The only reason you're doing the shitty video anymore is for yourself, is for your own practice, okay? So the reality is at this point, and I don't say this because I don't want people to walk out of here defeated on the first speaker of the day. Shit, I'm already screwed. I want you to understand that you're here for a reason. This is a relatively small room. Most of your competition was too busy to be here today, right? Too busy not selling houses. That's just the reality. So embrace this stuff. I'm going to quickly tell you what video equipment you need. You don't need I have a videographer, I rarely use him. He's more for my team. You don't need fancy equipment. This is literally what I use on the regular. I've bought all of my stuff on Amazon. This is my new favorite clip-on mic. This is just a lav mic. I bought the interview set, so it has two. See the little dongle there? It just plugs into your phone. You press the power button, it automatically connects, and bam, you've got a wireless lav mic. Very simple. You don't need an expensive Rode mic. We have one of those too. This one performs equally well, and it's way more mobile friendly. You need to have a tripod. Some of you remember me saying last year, please stop holding your phone so I can see the pores on your face, or so that I get motion sickness when I watch your walkthrough videos. Just simply, you don't need to have a stabilizer. Frankly, your phone has stabilizers built in now, unless you have an iPhone 6 or something like that. Just simply having a tripod makes your videos, gives a little bit of depth, gives you a little bit more stability, and frankly, when you are gonna do the talking head videos, you have a place to put your phone, prop your phone up. Get a tripod, get multiple tripods, and have some decent lighting. This stuff is very affordable. You notice here, if I go backwards, The lav mic's 32 bucks, the tripod 23 bucks, the lighting 35 bucks. Do the math, probably less than $100 there. This is all you need. Like, you don't need anything fancy. Like, the world has evolved to the point that you don't need big fancy, these big lights that are blinding me here. You just need stuff like this. And you can get this set. They either come on tripods. They come with tripods for $32, $35, or they come with these arms. Very simple. Put them on your desk, because most of you are going to be shooting video at your desk. Video apps, video editing apps. These are the two that we recommend. These are the two that we teach. This is what I use. I use Viva Video. CapCut's way more popular. They're basically the same thing. But you should have one. You should have it, and you should learn how to use it, and I'm going to show you some examples of how you should be using it here in a little bit. But you need to understand that when you walk out of here today, it's not just about shooting video, it's about doing video better. It's about doing video better. 5 years ago, it was video is the future. 2 or 3 years ago, it was do video to differentiate. A year ago, it was you better do video. Now it's you better do video better, or you're not even going to show up. Before I get into the examples, what's next? Anybody heard of this? Yeah? Show of hands. Who's using it? Every audience, it continues to grow. ChatGPT, AI, it's the new rage. There's actually others, and we have an article about this. This is the new Google. This is actually threatening Google. They might put Google out of business. Let Alex talk about that later. But you go to ChatGPT, you can sign up for a free account. They just announced that they're adding paid accounts. You can pay $20 a month, and you don't have to worry about not being able to get on, and you're going to get access to new features. But the point of ChatGPT is simply this. Ask it any question and watch it spout off an answer in like 10 seconds. It can write you a damn college essay in less than 3 minutes. Like, universities are completely changing the structure of how they teach because of this. And I will tell you this, for those of you that you already know about it, you're already out ahead. For those of you who don't know about it, I will promise you within 12 months, maybe sooner, this will be so normal for us, we won't even remember what life was like without it. That's how fast shit's going right now. I quoted something the other day that said the Industrial Revolution took roughly 250 years to penetrate rural areas. And then it was, I think it was the internet, took about 30 years to penetrate rural areas. Then mobile devices and the web took about 15 years. AI has taken about 2.5 months. That's already being felt. And that's kind of the whole point. And going back to my comment about how your shitty video is not good enough anymore because of technology like this. The world is evolving so incredibly fast. It's a job. It's going to become a requirement of your job to embrace shit faster. How many of you poo-pooed TikTok, and then you were like, damn it, I wish I had stopped poo-pooing it and actually got on it sooner? Maybe not for TikTok, the platform in and of itself, but being a TikToker makes you a better creator on Instagram. It makes you a better creator on Facebook. It makes you a better creator for YouTube Shorts. Guess what? Everything I just named, Reels, Shorts, what'd they do? Copied TikTok. Whether TikTok sticks around or not, it's changed our world. It's never going back. We're never going back. And AI, we're never going back. And you can look at it from two different perspectives. It's scary as shit. It's very scary. But what I suggest people who tell me how scared they are is, I say, you know what, focus on educating yourself about this stuff, because those that embrace it will create a leg up. We actually did an article on this, so if you don't follow Drunk on Social is where I spend most of my time. It's one of our platforms. If you follow Drunk on Social, Instagram's a good place. We have a Facebook group. We actually did an article. It's probably about less than 10 posts down on Instagram. If you don't follow Drunk on Social, we did the top 10 AI tools for 2023. Actually, one of our good friends, Austin Armstrong, he's launching a platform called Syllabi right now that is designed for salespeople. And it writes scripts for salespeople. It's called Syllabi. It's the #1 on the top 10 AI tools for 2023. Go check that out. I already mentioned parasocial relationships, but I always keep it in my presentation because I know that not everybody is super familiar with this term, but this is the name of the game. You're creating a one-sided relationship with people where one person expends emotional energy, interest, and time, and the other doesn't know they exist. Like just here today, I've hugged several people, and several people said, gosh, it's really good to actually see you in person because I see you all the time. And because I've got a shit ton of parasocial relationships with people. And this is the object of the game. You want to become like this guy. You guys know who this is? Mr. Beast? He's like 24 years old-ish. He's the number one YouTuber, the number one individual YouTuber in the world now. He's worth, I don't even know how much he's worth. And he's just leaned into video and specifically YouTube. And he has become what he's become. And there's a lot of real estate agents that are going to build a Mr. Beast-esque brand just by doing what Mr. Beast has done. You become a digital celebrity. I tell every real estate audience that I talk to, stop thinking of yourself as a real estate professional first and start thinking of yourself as a media company. That's where the realtors who progress faster, that's where their mind is. If you look at yourself as a real estate agent first, what did you just do? You just lumped yourself into a category with 2 million other professionals who have the same access to data that you have. There's zero differentiation. You all have access to the MLS. You all have access to the data, right? Yeah, sure, some of you might sell more homes than somebody else, but the reality is you all have access to the same shit. What differentiates you is how you connect with your audience and how you create media. Because if you live in a world of just the data, you're going to have a really hard time reaching humans going forward because they're not interested in that crap. Become a digital celebrity. And there is a psychology behind this too, by the way. I didn't realize this until the last number of years as my brand has grown. And to realize that there is a psychology behind seeing a human seeing another human on a screen. Like most of us grew up and it was television, right? And then you think about it, and I'm not talking about Tom Cruise and Hollywood and LeBron James. I'm talking about like local newscasters. Local newscasters are actually very, I would say, underpaid for what they do. They're far from celebrities, but if you saw them like at an event, they're like a celebrity. Why? We see them on a screen. And a lot of you are undermining the ability to build a digital celebrity brand by not putting yourself on a screen more often. And then when you go to the grocery store, and you go to church, and you go to all these different places that you're just living life, and people start to recognize you. That's when the game changes. That's when you know that you are becoming somebody. That's when you know that people actually, like, there's a celebrity status, even though you're going to sit there just like I do and say, I'm just a normal dude, I just press play more often. That's it. But that celebrity stat, people want to do business with celebrities. That's just the reality of it. 10, 15 years ago, it was the people on billboards. You all know how this went. If you've been around the business long enough, when I first got into the business, there was this one agent in my market who's always still, to this day, on a billboard. Before I got in the business, I thought she was the premier agent. Then I got in the business and realized she's a jackwagon. She just affords a billboard. But I was thinking to myself, if I thought she's the premier agent because her face is on a board, who else thinks the same thing? Don't overthink this shit. This is how it works. All right, so let's get into the 5 strategies. 5 video strategies that you could be using in your business today. These are very simple. These are all accessible. I mainly focus on Instagram as a cornerstone platform, and here's why. TikTok has a negative connotation in some people's minds. Either A, it's for kids, which is far from the truth anymore. B, that it's owned by China. Yes, it still is. So, but it is by far the most advanced platform. If you have an ability to create on TikTok, it's going to make you a better creator everywhere else. Instagram is the closest to TikTok. And so I use Instagram as my cornerstone platform. There's also the threat that TikTok could get banned in the US, and if it does, I don't want to be screwed. So don't get me wrong, I have my strategies on TikTok, but I focus on Instagram. So everything I talk to you about today. So we're going to start with Remix. It's called Remix on Instagram. It's called Duet on TikTok. You guys know what this is? Right? You press the button, you just react to somebody else's video. It's like the dumbest content, in my opinion, that ever existed, but it works, and it's easy, and it's an excuse to create more content. Here's an example. I'm going to show you guys a couple of our students. This guy is out of California. He did this remix with some comedian, and you notice it got 846 likes, 92,000 views. If you look at the Bearded Agent's content, you'll notice that his average post gets 100 to 200 views. Gets very few likes, very little engagement. He's starting to do these remixes, and his content is blowing up. And I know what you're thinking to yourself. Well, that's great, Jeff, but so what? He did some comedic remix. What's the point? Listen, 92,000 eyeballs means a fraction of those people went to his profile, probably followed him. Those people that followed him now got into his spider web, and that's going to create more eyeballs on his brand, which is going to create more opportunity. Stop overthinking this shit. That's the name of the game, is to hack the algorithm. That's the game. The game is to get more eyeballs on your brand. Use this video tool. Here's another one, Blair Ballin. He's in Phoenix. Goofy dude. I love him. I'm going to see him on Wednesday. Same thing. I actually showed a picture of his grid. He's done a couple of remixes here, but look at his grid. 94 views, 277, 128. Yeah, he did a green screen. That's next. But look at his two remixes. 15,000 views, 5,900 views. It just works. I don't know why, but it works. Use this shit. That's video tip number 1. This is easy content. You need to be using your effects. So in your Instagram, you have an effects button, and this little one on the right here is going to show you where that is. There's 2 places that it is, and I'm actually going to show you. This is easy stuff to use. Your effects are already, they're always updating. So this is an example of an effect. It was a black and white. I just chose it, and I put a message out there that had, actually the message was something specific about saying, are you still living in the black and the white, or are you in color? But you could do anything you want with this stuff. You go to your effects. So this is me on my camera. You can see they're at the bottom there, right? That's where your effects are. You also can hit the little stars up there under the musical note, but you can see all these different effects that you can use. This stuff is, again, I'm not going to deny it. It's kind of hokey and kind of silly. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you jump on Instagram, and even if you have to do that market update, do that market update as an avatar versus just your face and see which one performs better. Remember why you're doing this. To create more eyeballs, to create more brand awareness. That's the name of the game. Use your effects. One of those effects that is also working incredibly well is your green screen. And I want to show you guys this one. And I was just talking to somebody in the back of the room before we started about this. Using the green screen within these apps, you don't have to have a green wall. You don't have to have a green screen. The technology is so advanced now, you don't need that stuff anymore. It just works. And so what you do is, Gary Vee's been doing it now for a little while, which is I'm always paying attention to the biggest influencers or what they're doing. All he does, and we do this too, you grab an article, a news story, you go to your green screen, which I'll show you how to do this, you add media, which is putting it behind you, and then you just talk about it. That's it. It's really freaking simple. Tristan's been doing a shit ton of this. You guys follow Tristan? Great guy to follow. He has been doing a ton of green screen. Why? Like pay attention to this stuff. If you see me or Tristan doing something, we're doing it because it works. We're doing it because we're testing it, and we're doing it because it works. Tristan's doing it because it works. That was Instagram. That was one of his recent green screens, and that was real estate-related content, by the way. 16,000 views. He had one. He's been doing it on TikTok as well. Look at his best performing one. 1.5 million views on a video where all he did was snipped a picture of an article, put it behind him, and talked about it. That's it. It's so easy to create. So many of you are not creating video because you're afraid of the skill that it requires. This stuff doesn't require much skill. And look at the performance. Another example, my TikTok is dedicated to a geographic area. Anybody who knows or follows me knows that my strategies have evolved. My TikTok, my audience told me they wanted Lake of the Ozarks. They wanted a geographic area content. So now, once a week, at least once a week, I go to a local news aggregator. It's called the Lake Expo. I find a news article, I slap it behind me, and I talk about it. And you'll see that comparatively to my other videos, because I post a video a day on TikTok, it's getting about 5x the views. I don't know why, but it works. And so you need to be using it. And you guys as real estate agents, you should be taking local news, find that local news aggregator. In many cases, for some of you in big cities, there's a bunch of them. Grab an article, slap it behind you once or twice a week, and talk about it. You start hashtagging the local areas that you're in, and before you know it, like that, they're paying attention. Your consumers are consuming your content and actually want to consume your content because it's relative, it matters to them, right? Trending sounds. This is where it gets weird. Dan talked about this, and you notice the theme here, right? A lot of this, and I know many of you are watching these ideas, and you're thinking to yourself, hell no. You don't have to, but this is the stuff that works. Remember what I said in the very beginning about the way real estate agents are now perceived by the world as spammers. So if we're going to put out real estate content, like I realize me as a teacher, as an educator, I'm fighting an uphill battle with you guys. I realize just to get you to press play is really, really, really hard. And then when I get you to press play, to get you to not introduce yourself is really, 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 really hard. And then if you make it that far, to not get you to not want to talk about real estate is really, 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 really hard. So I'm not going to fight you too bad, but what I'm going to try to tell you is I want you to use these tools to make your content more like edutainment. Remind people what you do, but do it in a fun way by using trending sounds. These are just some examples. We have an entire TikTok channel dedicated to just my daughter, one of my daughters who's on our payroll. Her job, find the trending sounds that maybe haven't made it to real estate yet. She comes over to my house once a week. We shoot about 10 of them. And then we just tie them back to real estate or social media, video, whatever. And the whole idea of the channel is so you guys can go copy them. Because some of you who do this need ideas all the time. So these are just 3 examples. Those are supposed to play. I don't know if they can. Can AV help me here? You've seen these before. Yay, nay? Nope. If it doesn't work, it's okay. I'll tell them where to go. Go here if you want those trending sounds. It's called the Real Estate Whisperers TikTok page. That's all it's designed for. Either go be entertained or go steal this stuff. Save the sounds, literally copy what we're doing, make them your own. I want to see more of this stuff on social because this is the stuff that your audience wants to see. They want to see entertaining stuff. We aggregate this in Drunk on Social, so for those of you who see this, so first of all, we dedicated a channel to it, but secondly, we also aggregate sounds. So every time that anybody on our team, our Drunk on Social team, is scrolling Instagram or TikTok, and we see somebody else do something that's entertaining, or they're using a trending sound, they're using a lip sync video, we aggregate it to a spreadsheet. It's up over 260 of them now. So literally, I have content. If you guys walked away from here and said, I'm going to do what Jeff said, you don't even have to work at this one. I've got it all for you. Just scan that, and we will send you the spreadsheet, which is probably up over 270. You're going to have enough content ideas for an entire year just on trending sounds. All these link back to either Instagram or TikTok, and all you got to do on there is go grab them. Go grab them. It's very simple. Got that? Okay. The last one, so remember we talked about remix or duet. We talked about using effects. We talked about green screen. We talked about trending sounds. And the last one is videoing your product. And by the way, I just heard somebody's probably TikTok opened up, which is great. I love that. There's always one. And that's okay. I don't tell you to turn off your cell phones because usually when I'm teaching this stuff, I'm like, get on your cell phone because you have to be on it, so don't be embarrassed. I don't mind. In fact, I'm kind of embarrassed that I only heard one. It means only one person downloaded that app. Video your product. Remember how I said that you guys are walking through homes, you're showing up at a listing? You all have access to listings. Whether you list homes or not, you have access to listings. Go to your brokerage, go to your agents in your office, ask for listing. Go to a local builder, say, can I video your listing? And you know what, worst case, reach out to other agents at other brokerages within your market and say, can I video your listing? Of course, give them credit. But you should be going once a week and shooting video at one property a week, at minimum. One a week, creating 3 to 5 videos at every house. And I'm gonna show you what those videos look like. We're talking about a walkthrough, not the 3 to 5 minute version, the version where you acquire those editing skills and you either speed it up or you cut from room to room, and you cut it down to less than 60 seconds. And then you're gonna do a second walkthrough video, but it's gonna be a video with you. It's gonna be the same walkthrough, but you're going to be in every scene because now you're subtly branding yourself. You might need a friend to walk you through the house. Same thing. It's going to be about a 60-second video, 45 to 60 seconds. Then you're going to go in that same house and you're going to do feature videos. You're going to do a video of just the kitchen, of just the bathroom, of just the master, of just the base, whatever. Just do videos, short videos that are about 10 to 15 seconds. You're going to use trending sounds. You're going to now have 3 to 5 videos per week, not announcing to your audience to spam them, but you're giving them what I call TikTok meets HGTV. You're giving them content that they actually want to consume that now is reminding them what you do. And you all have access to this stuff, but you're not doing it. And if you are doing it, you're doing it poorly. Do it better. I'll show you some examples. I'm running low on time. I'm going to give you guys, this is my posting strategy, and I share this for one reason. I post 1 to 2 reels a day on Instagram. I post at least 5 to 7 stories a day. These are both, by the way, I connect to Facebook. I post on Instagram, and it connects to Facebook. I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You can go the other way if you want, but I recommend Instagram. I post in our Facebook groups daily. I post at least 1 TikTok a day. These different. This is not the same content, except for the bottom 2. That's all regurgitated. YouTube Shorts, 1 long form a week, multi-purpose videos onto LinkedIn and Twitter. Those top 4 are all me. The bottom 2, I have VAs that do that for me. I say that because most of you look at your business and your life and say, I don't have time. Well, I call bullshit. I call bullshit. You're not making the time. I have 4 businesses and work a lot, but I make time for this because it is 5x our business, and it has grown and has created new opportunities for me, and it attracts business. We were just talking about this in the back of the room. I don't chase business anymore. If somebody doesn't want to, if I feel like I have to chase a candidate, whether it's a customer or a loan officer or a realtor, I won't do it. I don't have to. You either want to work with me or you don't, and I'm so confident in my ability to attract business now that I don't chase. Honestly, that attitude actually attracts now because then they're like, oh, what does he have that I don't have? Which I do have things that they don't have, and that's why they come. Stop making excuses. Here's your potential posting strategy. 1 remix per week, 1 effect video per week. I would suggest 2 green screen videos per week, and I would suggest doing 1. I would go Google real estate news, find something interesting, put it behind you, talk about it. I would go to your local aggregator, your local news aggregators, find an article once a week, create a green screen about it. So now we're up to 4. I would do 1 to 2 trending sound videos per week. Just go grab what I gave you. Go copy what everybody else is doing. It's okay. Your audience is not seeing these other people's content, and I would be creating at least 1 to 2 of those per week because they're easy to do. And then I would be doing the 3 to 5 home highlight videos. If you did this, you just incorporated 7 to 11 videos per week onto your socials. And oh, by the way, if anybody knows me, you know that I'm going to tell you, you should have an 80-20 strategy, 80% authentic content, 20% business. I just gave you all business. So really, you've got about 30 ideas now. My point is, if you took this and you applied this and you sprinkled in your personal shit like you're supposed to be, you now are posting so freaking neurotically consistent. I promise you, your audience is going to notice, and you're going to be creating so many conversations of people saying, I saw you, I see you, I love this, I love that. They're going to be commenting, they're going to be sliding into your DMs. You're going to run into them at the grocery store, you're going to run into them at church, you're going to run into them at the gym. And it's going to change your life, I'm telling you. You just got to apply this stuff. Here's my favorite stat. 1% of social media users are creators. 9% are light engagers, and 90% are most of you in this room. Which one are your consumers? The 90%. Why are you not putting yourself in the 1%? There is so much opportunity. You've got to look at this as prospecting. This isn't an entertaining extra anymore. This isn't a bonus. This isn't, well, I'll get to it later. This should be your number 1 prospecting tool. It's not going to replace the things that are driving your business today. It's going to supplement it. And 2 or 3 years from now, if you do this like I just suggested, it will replace everything you've done. It will replace everything that you've done. People give in to the person they see the most. Remember that billboard scenario? And the moment you become a somebody, the business starts to chase you. These are all factual stats. I'm going to plug in my phone, but I'm going to give you this last tip because I got 2 minutes. This is just a little strategy. I interview a lot of top social media influencers and a lot of people executing at a high level. Rachel Lee Adams, who's a real estate agent in the Northwest, she gave us this recently. This is just a little simple social media hack. 5 minutes before you post, go to 5 people in your target audience. Who do you want to see your post? Is it a past customer? Is it a potential client? Is it somebody that you're trying to earn their listing? Go to 5 people and comment on one of their recent posts 5 words or more. It's a simple hack. What do you think happens when you do that? It's a little algorithm hack. So when you go engage with other people, the algorithm, which is not a little troll, it's a robot, it's a machine saying, there must be a connection here. And then all of a sudden, 5, 10, 15 minutes later, you go post. What are the odds that your shit's now showing up on their feed? And I don't know why you have to stop at 5, 10, 15, 20, it doesn't matter. If you start building that into your strategy as well, you are going to find that your content is going to get seen more often by the people that you want to see it. I'm not talking about your mom. She's already seeing your content. I'm talking about your target audience. Go do this. All right, I'm going to plug my phone in because I want to show you guys a couple things real fast. We ready for this, AV team? We've got 1 minute left. All right, here we go. First things first, and I don't think the sound's going to work, but I'm going to show you an example of what I was talking about with the 3 to 5 videos, okay? I just sent this to one of my loan officers recently. So I mentioned that you're going to do potentially 5 videos per walkthrough. Here's number 1. This is your standard walkthrough. There's no sound to this. This is actually Tears for Fears. If anybody is from my generation, it's a good song. But you could pick any music you want. But this is the idea of what I'm talking about. What I did here was I walked through the house. I sped up every transition. You can speed up or you can cut. I took a video walking through a house that was about 4.5 minutes, and I cut it down to less than 60 seconds. You all should have this at least once a week in your videos. People like watching this stuff. They like this stuff. This is actually sexy content. Like, why is HGTV so popular? Because we like looking at homes. So do this. Go find the damn listings and do this. I'm going to stop right there. You get the point. The second one I told you was the same video, but you're going to be in it. This is my daughter, newly licensed. Same concept, same walkthrough, but watch what I do. And this is all shot with a cell phone, by the way, no other tools. I was holding this with my hand. Notice how every scene, she's in. She's not saying a damn thing. There's music. There's trending music. She's not saying anything. It's just a walkthrough video, but guess what I'm doing? I'm not dumping garbage on them. I sell real estate. I'm like, hey, check out this cool home. Hey, it's got a trending sound. It's kind of catchy. Oh, and hey, by the way, don't forget I'm a realtor, without saying it, right? This is simple stuff. This requires some editing skills, but you notice how, literally, I'm just walking through the house and she just happens to be everywhere. Subtle branding. I'll stop there. The other 3 were these. I did a master bedroom. Again, these all had cool sounds with them. This is it. All I'm doing is highlighting a feature of the house. These short form videos have a greater odd of going viral because they're short form, because you know how it works. It's all about percentage of how much the video that people watch. So if you have a 10-second video and they watch all 10 seconds, they watched 100%. If you have a 60-second video, they watch 10 seconds, they watch 10%, right? These videos have a better chance of actually getting you more followers. Same thing, bathroom video. Very simple, nothing to it. All cell phone. I just did some fancy little cuts. And by fancy, I mean on my mobile phone. Very simple. The last one is a kitchen. I think you get the point, because I know they're going to kick me off here in a second. This is what I want you, 3 to 5 a week. You're not annoying your audience when you do this stuff. Just acquire this skill. And it's not easy because we're old, for most of us. I'm not going to pick on everybody in the room. We're old, and acquiring a new skill is hard. And once you start doing this shit, you're like, oh, this is stupid, and you throw your phone down. If you have teenagers, they'll teach you. The last thing I want to show you is this, because this is so easy. Okay, so if you're in your Instagram, you go to your profile, you click the little plus button in the top right, and I promise I'm getting off, Dustin, after this. I'm going to click Reel, okay? It's going to open up my camera. Yes, continue. Oh, no, I don't want to do this one. I'm shooting a reel right now. Save that draft. Okay, so here we are. So now you can see you're on camera, or I'll put myself on camera. Okay, so you notice down here at the bottom is here all of these effects, right? Or I can go right beneath you see the musical note, the 90 seconds, and then the stars. I'm going to click the stars. This is for those of you that don't have green screen already teed up. That's going to pop this up. You're going to click the little magnifying glass. You're going to type in green screen. And now it's going to give you a bunch of options. Take that first one, click it, okay? Now here we are. It opened up the green screen effect, okay? Now there's a green screen behind me. See the little Add Media button right above the circle? I'm going to click Add Media. I'm going to go find an article that I have, and there we go. And now I can press play and say, have you guys seen this? Who was at the Overland Park boat show last week, and who bought a new boat? Actually, I'm going to actually do this, but that's not going to be the one because I didn't like the start. But that's how easy this is. That's how easy this is. There's 5 videos that you could be doing every single week that's going to create 7 to 11 pieces of content in your strategy. And those of you that apply this, I'm telling you, give it a year or 2, it's going to change your life. I promise you. Thank you guys for having me.
All right. Thank you for tuning in to this special edition. Carrie and I love doing the HyperFast Agent Summit. We love doing events. And guess what? Even more than that, we love partnering with real estate agents. And now we're, in over 12 states, 15 states. We love partnering with real estate agents from all over the country. If you want to get access to top-level training, to multiple real estate coaching programs, to mentoring from myself and Carrie Scholl, to help in scaling your business and building multiple streams of income by partnering with us at eXp Realty, I would be honored to sponsor you along with Carrie Scholl at eXp Realty. All you need to do is send me a text message to 703-638-4393. Again, that is 703-638-4393. Just text me, yes, it is me, and I will respond and talk to you about how you can partner with Carrie Scholl and I at eXp Realty. Thanks for tuning into the show. We'll see you next time.